and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And I'm dropping 2 reviews of Star Trek Strange New Worlds this week because I want to catch up, right? I fell about a week behind. I want to catch up. I like this show. I like this show, which is an unpopular opinion, but I do like this show. It's not without its problems. Let's be clear. It is certainly not without its problems. And this is probably the weakest episode. I find it perfectly watchable, enjoyable. I would rewatch this, right? I would totally rewatch the whole season. I'm very much on board. Now, I'm very surprised to have this opinion, right? I'm very, very, very surprised to have this opinion. I expected it to be the same as Discovery and the same as Picard. Awful. Absolutely awful. Stupidly written. Massive mistakes. So look, let me just put on the table the problems of this show are in no particular order. Lieutenant Latinx lesbian, right? I can't remember, Ortega, like who's the helmswoman with the size of a head shave, clearly a lesbian, and she's written kind of like a cheeky young male character, like basically like Chekhov, right? Basically Chekhov. And the reason I say I call it Latinx instead of Latino or Hispanic is because white people love the word Latinx and anybody else don't. They absolutely hate it, but that's why they use the word. Honestly, I feel if that character was just recast as a written exactly the same, recast as a male, it would have worked a lot better. I actually felt the same way about the security chief, right? Noonien Singh. It's kind of a dumb idea that she was Noonien Singh, related to Khan, and also she's got this backstory with the Gorn. Pick one lane, okay? Pick one freaking lane. However, the actress, I think, was pretty darn good in the role and won me over, right? What has enough nuance in a somewhat two-dimensional character to make it work for me, right? But yeah, that was the biggest hit. Now, in this episode particularly, it features a pirate takeover of the Enterprise, and it's done way too easily. And it's going to be fixed at the scripting stage. I think it was more of a direction problem than anything else, because it goes down way too easily, right? Way too easily. There's a lot of ways they got to fix it. It just wasn't, but generally speaking, I find this as enjoyable as any episode of Star Trek. Now, there is a trans character in there, trans actress in this. I'm not sure it's a trans character. For once, I do not know if this trans actress has a penis or not, right? Seems a bit of a weird thing to ask somebody you never met before. So, when I heard about this, I was like, oh no, this is where it's going to jump the shark. This is where it goes off the rails. Because normally when you hire a trans person or a person on the progressive stack, that's where the quality goes out the window, right? It seems to be that whenever you want to do some kind of platforming of ideology, that's where quality of writing just vanishes. I think that's really a central thing. And you normally, because there's such a small pool of people who are trans to hire from, you normally don't get people who are that good of an actor and actress. She's phenomenal. She's really good. And again, I'm not sure if it's a script. I'm not sure if it's the character. She does a turd in this, which is absolutely fantastic. So I'm on board. And also if we were at the end of this cultural devastation, this cultural vandalism that we've lived through for the last 5 years or so, and they introduced the idea of like neither being this or that in a trans context, would have been really interesting. It makes you think. It does what good science fiction does. It's a very I find it a very innocent show. It feels like a 1950s type of storytelling. This is science fiction that people who don't really know anything about science fiction can get into the era with, get into the genre with. But generally speaking, thoroughly enjoyable. If it's an unpopular opinion, it's an unpopular opinion. But I just judge things based on their own merit. That's my raison d'etre in life. I think it's the only way to be fair. I judge things based on its own merits. Listen, this was the episode to check out. But check out the show, right? If you're somebody like me who has hated everything Alex Kurtzman has done with Star Trek, and you can look at this with an open mind, which is very hard, right? Because the fans of the Alex Kurtzman Star Trek are normally terrible, terrible people, right? You're terrible people who hate anybody who isn't exactly like them, and it is a very clear, open hatred. So I understand a lot of people have been burnt. I get it, right? I get it. A lot of people just want to move on. I'm glad I watched it, right? I'm glad I watched this. Fine, so we're going to get in the review. Like, share, subscribe, all those things. Fan-dabby Double Dozy. Thank you very much. I'm very, very grateful for you liking, sharing, and subscribing. I think I'm going to do episode 8, which I think is a Klingon episode. It's going to be the Klingon Orcs, right? It's going to be the Klingon Orcs. I kind of like them. I like the first, 5-6 episodes of Discovery when it started. I like, the Rainn Wilson... Harry Mudd, I thought that was quite inventive, right? Quite inventive casting. I did like it. But the other problem with this show is when they tie it to Discovery, because Discovery is drag. Let's stop mentioning it altogether. But other than that, I mean, in terms of like putting out an exciting, entertaining episode of a TV show, I feel this is it, right? I feel this is it, I'm sticking it up. We're on episode 7. It hasn't jumped the shark yet, right? So, for me anyway, I think a lot of people jumped it before it started, but yeah, that's where we are. Also, this is clearly a separate continuity. I know Kurtzman and J.J. Abrams says, oh no, it's all the same. They're full of crap. They're full of shit. I mean, honestly, what happened with Transporter Chief Carl? I talk about this in the review. I mean, what, did he get hit by a redhead Irish beam that turned him from an Asian man to a redheaded Irishman? Maybe, but sounds more Red Dwarf to me than Star Trek. Well, funnily enough, Star Trek always did steal Red Dwarf's plot lines a year after Next Generation. They really did. Red Dwarf normally actually did quite a bit better as well. Fine, like, share, subscribe, comment, get sign up my Substack, sign up my paid Substack. All these things are just the greatest things you could possibly do in life. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. And now I'm going to hand over to me from a scant 12 hours ago, back in the dim mist of the past, where I was a younger, more innocent person, happy to walk you through what I felt was an enjoyable episode of Star Trek. Da, 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 da. I like this show. Fuck off. I like this show. I'm sorry. I feel so bad that I like it, and I'm finding it all a bit stale. I'm finding this very fresh, right? I like this show. Now, is this the worst episode? I can't remember the first. I've even rewatched an episode. Okay. I can't. Is this what was the first episode? I don't remember the first episode, but which isn't a great sign, is it? We've got the episode, but then again, listen, I don't remember bloody anything. That's yeah. Star Trek: Strange New World episode. This is not the strongest episode. Let's be fair. And this is a show that has. Probably it's not perfect by a long way. Lieutenant Latinx lesbian is shit, right? It's a shit character miscast. I think probably the Noonien Singh security chief is also a shit character, but cast probably with an actress talented enough, or actor. It's weird. If they were trans, you have to call them actress. An actress that was talented enough to breathe life into it. Can this open up already? Come on. There you go. Doink. And I think the whole calling a Noonien Singh is just dumb, you know. Yeah, okay, so the first one was... Right, so the first one was kind of like a bog standard TNG episode. Basically, First Contact episode. They were just working in. It's grown on me since then. Anyway, starts off by going, we're Star Trek-y! Whoosh! Whoosh! If you have a bong, get one now! Whoa! Yes! It's really made for stoners. I'm sorry. It needs a bit more eye candy for that. Whoa! Whooshy! Woo! Da, da, da. It looks gorgeous. It just does. I'm sorry. I'm such a sucker for this. Oh, it's frozen again. Look at that. Such a sucker for this. And yeah, look. Yes, they're whoring out Star Trek. Yes, they are. No, this episode they rip off Star Trek 5. Oh yeah, you get Cyborg in this. I'm not even joking, and I liked it. Ooh. So anyway, we open up. We're in the Ankh Shatan Katil Vulcan Criminal Rehabilitation Center. So they mentioned this in passing. And it only like sunk in on me on this episode. To Pring, who is insanely hot. Can I just say how insanely hot she is again? To Pring works there, right? Her job is like bringing back like lapsed Vulcans to the power of logic by being so insanely hot. I mean, I'm like, what? Like, I love that she's doubling herself up. I'm like, okay, I don't know why she's doing this. I don't know what the logical reason is, but boy, do I like it. I like it a lot, right? Yeah, so yes, I think she's insanely hot. Oh, yes, and this opening, it is insanely hot as well. I forgot about it. Okay. Oh, by the way, I agree with you. I like both Prometheus and Covenant. I want the next one of those movies. God's sake. I mean, like, they keep churning shit out as widgets. Can they just make that as one of the widgets? Meanwhile, they're canceling Razor's fucking Wolves. I love that show. They're doing season 4 of Discovery and not season 3 of Razor Wolves. What sick, evil, twisted world do we live in? How much more evidence do you need that we are at the end of days and Satan himself has control of our reality? They're not making season 3 of Razor Wolves, but they are making season 3 of Picard and season whatever 27 of Discovery. No doesn't what? No doesn't ramble. What? I missed that. What are we talking about? Petey, could you fill in what that's about? You tickled my interest. She cried. Oh, he does like Prometheus and Covenant. Okay, fair enough. I like those movies. I think they're good, especially in 4K. It was awesome. Anyway, speaking of awesome, oh god, to Pring's freaking awesome. So she starts off with the Pring's log saying, you know, how reminding you what she is. Hi, I'm Spock's girlfriend. I'm very sexually open. We do have sex often. That basically every episode you see me, I'm being sexual in some way or another. Yes, very good. We like that. More of that, please. Anyway, so and she's saying, you know, it's challenging being having a long distance relationship with Spock. I'm exploring his heritage, his human side, and I've been reading about human sexuality. Yeah, can't stand Covenant. And so she's like having this chat with Spock, and he's like, "Yes, I mean, it should make all these like Tropic Accounts, all these like rather hot books." And he's like, "Maybe you should read it again." I'm like, and Spock's like, "Whoa, this is too much." And so I like this little relationship building up with Chapel and Spock. Again, this isn't, you know, TOS Star Trek. It's in its own universe. It's its own thing, right? It's its own thing, right? And it's the derivative thing, and it's a very basic sci-fi. I mean, when I say basic, charmingly basic. That's why one of the reasons I like it. These are like 1950s sci-fi stories. Like they really. I mean, if you read the first draft of City on the Edge of Forever. It's very much like this. You got pirates and stuff. I like it. I do like it. Anyway, so I like the relationship building up with Chapel and Spock. I'm very impressed with this actress, Jess Bush, right? And I love that her last name is Bush. Very good. Like it a lot. Because again, this could be quite a wooden character, and she's really put a little bit of life into it, right? And she's a model, so I'm not sure how new she's come to acting, But she does. I believe this character, right? And I don't. I believe me. I spend a lot of the time watching her very, very, very closely. What they won't say it's its own universe. It's over. Like, what happened to Transporter Chief Kyle? Was he hit by some weird alien ray that made turned him from an Asian man to an Irishman with red hair? That's a really weird beam. Like, damn, oh, fuck me, I'm Irish with red hair. Be gone. I mean, it's obviously, it's like, why does everything look completely fucking different? Right? Like, why does everything look like it was made now, not in the 60s? Because it's not the same fucking thing. Fine. I digress. Bigora. So anyway, he's like saying, I need some advice, right? You helped me out before with to bring, and she's like, she's learning about this stuff, and she's exploring about my human side, but I don't really want to do it. So says, look, are you telling me your girlfriend's going too fast for you, right? But then they have this very good little scene, right? Where she said, listen, the reason I like being friends with Vulcans is because Vulcans are honest with you. They're generally speaking straight shooters. They don't see a point in lying. There's no need to lie to her. That's where you always get in trouble. Just be Vulcan, be honest, right? And he's like, good about it, but it's good to say, look, says I need a friend. And it really is. That's what Star Trek is to me. It's the bond between people. It was the relationships, right? I would love to see Russell Davies do a Star Trek because he's all about making families, right? He really is. Well, that too. Fine. So so then the plot starts, right? And you have this trans actress, so she presents as female. I'm going to call her female, right? Who's fantastic. Okay, she is a fantastic actress. I'm very impressed with her performance. So there, she's like, and again, I don't mind. Because I feel she feels alien to me, right? So that's okay, right? So she used to be work for the Federation as a counselor. But then she found out, the Federation doesn't really reach far. And so she left the Federation and basically does the same thing independently. There's a bunch of colonists that their ships are like stranded in trouble, so they're going to go into this asteroid belt and help them. The weird thing is they're going off alternate script decisions that the Enterprise being Kirk's second command, then shouting down fans in the region. Go, listen, the crazes are going to be crazy. What do you want me to tell you? The crazes are going to be crazy. Yes, they are. And if their craziness has tainted this for you, I hear it, mate. I totally hear it. There's a lot of toxicity around the Discovery fan base. There's a ton of toxicity, and around the cast and crew, for that matter, right? There really genuinely is. There may be with this too, right? There may be with this too, but I just watch it on its own terms. I think if it was a fan film, I would enjoy it, right? I would totally do it. Anyway, so they're talking about basic life out here on the frontier, on the rim, and I do like you feel like you're really on the final frontier in the series. Love the Doctor, great character. Weirdly enough, the character I thought I would like the most, number one, is a little flat, right? So they arrive there and they're like, okay, yes, guide them that way, and off they go, flying into the asteroid belt. And it's a lot of cool flying bit. Okay, and then the gorgeous freaking titles again: Impulse Engines. Oh, so cool. Deflector dish. Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Oh, show me that deflected dish, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, give me an ASO. Oh, give me an ASO. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, they're going for, oh, we're going to walk. We're going to walk. Oh, no. Whoosh. Oh, again, look at the paneling. Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, do it harder, baby. Look at this. Okay. Do we have the, I got a screen grab of the, I love that it has the grills in the back. I have to get a screen grab of that next week. Freaking love the grills at the back of the nacelles. But again, I'm just a slut for this stuff, baby. I am. So anyway, starts off Spock is going to a guest of the week's room, and there's like loud music playing. Brum, 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 and he knocks on the door. And says, "Hi, I'm just working out." And they kind of start building this kind of interesting relationship. And he gets to put her necklace on, and they seem to like it. Yeah, there seems to be some kind of. She's certainly turned on by him. Oh, she knows about a lot about Vulcan culture as well. So anyway, they're looking for the colonists for their ship, and they get caught in a trap thing. And it's like a Thorian web, but not. And it's going to, and it contracts, right? And so they're trying to work out how to get. They find they have two places that they could fire, right? And they choose the wrong one, it's going to implode and destroy them. And there's Spock, decide, and they make him like make a hunch, and he goes and he does it, right? Boo! And they thankfully get the right one, otherwise the show will be way over. And there's a little spaceship is flying behind them. Meanwhile, Spock is analyzing things, and they come to talk, and she asks what they're doing. And then they kind of open up a little bit, right, about how he's torn somewhat between his Vulcan and his human side. And so she suggests, well, maybe you're neither. Maybe you're neither fish nor flesh. Maybe you're something different, right? Maybe you're something. And I understand they're trying to get a idea of what being non-binary is over. And if this is how I was introduced to the idea, it would be much more interesting. It's not like it's being screamed at me. It's not like being, no, you must believe this. Like it's being sold through an allegory, right? Hats off to them. It worked. I think it works, right? I think it worked. And this is the only trans moment of the episode, and I think it very much works for underselling it. This again, skillfully acted, skillfully delivered, skillfully written. Didn't feel like I was being lectured at. It felt like somebody was starting a conversation with me. Now that's the way to engage you, right? That is the way to engage you with these things, right? Yeah, I feel like you there, Spock. Yeah. Fascinating. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Latinx, and they had Latinx in the script. Lieutenant Lesbian Latinx says, we how should we go? Oh, no, they find the colonists. They cut this slide said, yeah, how should we go? How intimate? It says first date or third date? Like how close do you want to get? First date, he says. So okay, so proceeding with caution. And again, would be better if it was a bloke, right? Would be better if it was special needs Spock. He's not. I like this character. I can see it's how it's a prequel character to the Leonard Nimoy Spock. But I like the Zachary Quinto Spock. I thought that was freaking perfect. Yeah, but that's me for you. Anyway, she does look like a young Professor Snape. Absolutely. So they find the colonists, and they're all gone, right? They've all been kidnapped, and they've chased. They're looking for these colonists that they've all been kidnapped. I should have really started with that, right? Well, I thought we didn't find out yet, but looking for these colonists that have all been kidnapped, probably to be sold as slaves. So they find the ship where they could. They followed the warp signature, and they found the ship where they could be, and they're about to beam in and rescue them. And in there, Invul beams the strike force, and they're scanning. They have the life signs. They're looking for them. They get to engage, but there's only this thing there that's putting out a fake signal. They worked out that they've been lured here. Carl Urban blew it out the border. Oh God, he was awesome. Yes. All I've got left of my bones. I loved it. Yes. That was a good movie. I don't know if J.D. Abrams can fake a good single movie or if that actually was a good movie, but I enjoyed that movie. Great casting. Awesome casting. Anyway, so they've been faked out to get here, and they're like, we should really work out what's going on. And they've been cut. They realize they've been cut off from the Enterprise, and then they realize they've been cut. They can't talk. And meanwhile, Chapel's walking down the corridor, and she sees a bunch of people infiltrating through the ship. Like, okay, so here's where it gets a little bit stupid, right? Because well, we will see. This is the first of three problems with this episode, right? So they infiltrate the ship, a bunch of people, and she goes up the Jeffrey tube. Oh God, I love the Jeffrey tube. It's so fucking gorgeous. Oh, again. Yeah, look, I'm a whore for a Jeffrey tube. Look at it. Oh God, I love the colors, the yellow and the red. Oh, the chunkiness. It's gorgeous. So they're like, okay, we should really try and get out of here before anything happens. And anyway, then in swoops a gazillion people. And they're like, everybody put your guns down because they're surrounded. Then they somehow work out they're about to come into the bridge. And they get ready, and Spock's very protective. They lock down the ship. And this is quite a good fight, but there aren't enough people to take out this whole ship. You need like a few. I mean, these are highly trained Starfleet officers. They need some way of neutralizing the crew, right? And that's what's missing from this script, right? There aren't enough people. The crew is taken too easily, right? But that said, this is a good action sequence. I mean, listen, I guess, you leave the chicks in charge. I didn't say that. That was clearly, that's what a sexist would say. I, of course, wouldn't say that. Pew, 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 lots of pew, pew, pew. It's a good fight. And there, Spock uses his Vulcan pinch a lot and throws people around. There you go. And but he seems to take out most people as the rest of the crew like cower. So I don't see this as a problem in the scripting level. I just see there's a problem in the execution level, right? Star Trek 4, the Enterprise only had a skeleton crew of cadets. Star Trek 5 only had a skeleton crew of cadets and space personnel. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so Spock and whoever this is makes it into the elevator, and they're captured. I kind of like the Orion, right? Again, if this was a fan film, I would be enjoying it. I would totally be enjoying it, right? So the Orion is Irish for some reason. So then you get a bit of like Starship Mine, like a bit of Die Hard as they sneak around, and I see the British crews all been captured. Clearly, why were you having Ensign Asian knot top on the bridge? And what do you think he's going to do in Lieutenant Latinx lesbian? A Scotty, half drunk on Romulan Ale would have probably done better. It's about 50% there, says Darren. Now, a few better decisions in casting would be good. See, here's what I think. I think the Age of Woke shattered halfway through making this, and it shattered after the casting process, right? I think by the time they started shooting it, the Age of Woke was over, right? See, I'm very confused. Is this a biological male? Because they got a nice ass. I mean, I don't know. Loving the Jeffries tube. Anyway, so Pike's being beaten up. This is the second thing that doesn't really play too well. PD Rich on Blair, 400 plus crew, handful of pilots, infiltrate drip. They should have found a way of it will just, somebody should have picked this up in the script editing phase, right? They should have said, how about they release some kind of gas that knocks out everything but the bridge crew, right? That would have worked. And then Chapel you'll see what she does when we go. I don't spoil it. Even this is a spoiler review. So they're beating up Pike for the command codes. It's like, I don't have them, but I wouldn't give them to you anyway. And they keep hitting him. And so then he kind of like starts negotiating, and he charms his way in and said, "Listen, I'm not going to give you the clothes, but he throws some of the food in his face. This stuff is disgusting, right? So look, I'm not going to give you clothes, but look, let me go. Everybody I have a crew that needs food and water. Let me cook you a good meal, right? Let me cook you a good meal, and then we all eat, and then we can work it out from there, right? And again, this seemed like it's a bit dumb, but it worked, right? It's not bad. It's more like that scene in Galaxy Quest. It says, remember what we did in episode 34? It's a bit too obvious a ploy, right? Meanwhile, Chapel, who I like a lot now, is creeping around. She tries to get in, but the ship's locked down, and she gets caught. And she's got this thing, the thing that you what's it called again? The injector thingy in her wrist. Says, "Don't shoot! I'm just a nurse. I don't know anything." Right? And then when she's not looking, he turns around and injects him in his neck, so he passes out. Good fight sequence, right? Good fight sequence. And again, listen, good acting. It feels urgency, and she's got a wonderful ass. It's just a win-win. Not many women can carry off a skin-tight white costume. God bless you, darling. Keep doing it. I like the hair. I like everything. This is working, right? She grabs it and she takes it out. And I like that she takes him out. It doesn't feel like a 60-pound girl takes out a 150-pound man, right? It feels like she was like using, like martial art or something to and terror to just inject them to pass them out. And I like that she's kind of spunky, right? I like that. Anyway, so he's made them a chili, and they're all super digging it, right? And he's like, you have to hack it in. I'm never going to give you the thing, the code. He says, you know what? Let's see how you feel when I start selling you to the Klingons, right? The Klingons are going to want you for intelligence. They make it to sick bay. He's like, I can't get in. We got to get to engineering. And he gets so this is like the Galaxy Quest bit. They come up with the plan. It's like, okay, I've got in their heads, we got to engineer them. I was going to say we can engineer them to have a mutiny, because then he's going to say he's a Klingon. Said, "Man, you're brave dealing with the Klingons." This week's a Klingon episode, right? So they cut. Their plan is they're going to foment a mutiny, because he's going to tell them they're all going to get killed by Klingons, which they probably would do. They all meet up in engineering, and they take out the lockdown so they can take control of the ship. I like engineering as well, right? This to me, Phil, I prefer this to the J.J. Abrams engineering, and it feels like a big budget version of what they were trying to do in the original series, right? I really kind of, are you getting away from the next gen, Star Trek 2 big tube of lights, vroom, 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 tube of light thing. So everything locks down, and then she turns around and she's actually a bad guy, right? You thought she was good, she's really bad, and her whole personality changes. She's more sexy now, right? She's more sly, she's more sexy. They get brought to the bridge, and there's like, we are now on a starship, and they start firing the phasers. They're like, oh, this is awesome, right? This is awesome. And they said, yeah, but you're the thing we really wanted, Spock, right? It was really you who we wanted. And why did we want you? Because of T'Pring. They open T'Pring gets a message from Zod, right? It does break my heart knowing they're not going to work out, and that's the person she's going to end up with. Like, I'm really sad by all of that it doesn't work out, right? But I like that. Gets on. She has a high priority message she needs to get to. So it goes, and so again, complete different character. Great actress. I'm really good. And she's like, "Hi, I've got your boyfriend. You're engaged to him, and you're honor bound to protect him. You've got to meet me with a specific prisoner." I said, "But then I'll be disgraced." I said, "Yes, but the disgrace of letting your fiance die is greater, right?" So basically, by the logic dictates, you got to meet me with this prisoner at these coordinates, right? And then Spock says she will not give in to your emotional ploys. And it's a great little speech. I've been emotional. They won't give in to your emotional manipulation. And she gives a great little speech saying that I've been emotionally manipulating you the entire time, right? Oh, help me! I'm just a helpless settler. I need to help these poor settlers. And she's absolutely right. You do see how they've been manipulating his emotions. And she does understand Volk as well. She talks about Kolinar. It will be Klingon orcs, right? It's going to be Klingon orcs next. I think the Klingon orcs are coming in next week. I kind of like them as well. I hate to tell you, I kind of like them as well, but never mind. So they're fomenting a rebellion, a mutiny, saying, "Oh, you're all going to get killed. You're brave dealing with the Klingons." So T'Pring shows up, right? She shows up with the prisoner. She doesn't have a choice. Says, "I'm here, but I'm not going to give in to you." Said, "Yes, you will. I'll tell you why." Spock says, "Don't do anything," and then boom, she shoots it. Right? So next time it won't be stunned. Right? Then what's the name wakes her up. You have a little commercial break. Chapel wakes her up. Wakes him up and goes woo 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 with it. Always does a trick. And then she whispers to Chapel, look, let me apologize in advance. Just go along with what I'm going to say. It says, T'Pring, you don't understand. We can't remain engaged, right? Because I've been dating Chapel. And now you actually find out that Nurse Chapel really, really wants to be with Spock, right? And it's interesting with the character because and I don't know if they've forgotten a thing, or this is actually they're building a character, right? But she said she's not really interested in having a long-term relationship, right? And now, but she seems like very much so. So they say, "Listen, I've been having an affair with Nurse Chapel," and she's like, "I'm so sorry T'Pring." And the villain's like, "Well, kiss then, because we don't believe you." And so they have this very passionate kiss, right? And totally Chapel's into it. Right. Again, I think she's doing a great job. Also, she's also T'Pring then is hurt and pissed off, and they break off their relationship. That was basically the opposite of Pomfar, right? So they're not engaged anymore. And it kind of breaks your heart a little bit. Is this real? Oh no! And they're done. Live long and prosper. And she just goes like, and then Pike shows up after fomenting a revolution. And here's the thing that people really don't like. That the pirate ship has a big wheel that controls it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was silly. So he gets the pirate ship and he's like, has a drop on the Enterprise. And he tells them to like disrupt the engines. They're like, and they basically get control. And she's like, I'll get you next time. You were a fun opponent. And he beams off into a ship and flies off that ship earlier. Right, and then it turns out the rebellion, the mutiny is still going on. They're firing at each other. They got to get things worked out. Anyway, they get back to the Enterprise. You have another freaking awesome beauty shot. Oh my god, freaking awesome beauty shot. And kind of like wrap up of the episode. Then it's like you see like Spock meditating, and T'Pring shows up, and you go, "Oh god, I hope it's okay," and it is. Right? She says, "Well, I knew you weren't cheating on me because you're a man of honor," and they said, "Let's fuck." Which she does every episode. She's awesome. She's smoking hot, is up having lots and lots of sex, and has a very good job, best girlfriend ever, and will leave you alone. So anyway, then he has a conversation with Chapel. And it comes out how much he really does dig him, right? And he's like, because I knew you're, it says the same thing. I knew you're too honorable. So anyway, so he said, but do you know who she was trying to break out, right? Who's the Vulcan who's trying to get T'Pring to break out? And says, I believe I know. My father had another son by another mother. And he's mad. I say, I've never been near him, but they're told to stare away. His name is Cyborg. Dun dun dun. And yeah, listen, I know Star Trek 5 was shit. Okay, I know Star Trek 5 was shit. And I'll watch it again, thinking, maybe it was not bad to remember. No, It's the one where like the 6-year-old Uhuru does the dance of the 7 bells, like with the big feathers, right? Shit. That's like, but I like this person's take on it, right? I'd like to see what they're going to do with it. See Frankie with those ears. I do hate the Klingons introduced in Discovery Volume 1. They are much changed from. I do not hate the Klingons that introduced in Discovery. They were as much changed from Star Trek motion picture to Star Trek. The motion picture to Star Trek MP. What's MP? Oh, TOS to the motion picture. Change from classic. Actually, I think that was totally Brian Fuller's thing. The whole idea of what he was doing with Klingon society and how they went to war, right? I like the way he was showing how Klingons felt threatened. You have this homogenous federation that wants to erase their national identity, and you have like a very disparate group of Klingons, like disparate houses that are brought together with like this religious fervor. I like all that, right? I like all that. And then you can see Brian Fuller obviously there. always booted out. Yeah. So this was one of the weaker episodes. And for me, it's a recommend. It really is. For me, it's a recommend. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.